long. We can bring you these images now of Marc Guehi arriving at Manchester Airport just a few hours ago as he finalises his move to join Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, leaving Crystal Palace after a few good years' service at the club. So another hammer blow for Marc Guehi leaving the club, and Oliver Glasner, really, that's probably the final straw for him.
But we'll start with that big news on Marc Guehi. With just 5 months left on his Crystal Palace contract, it looked like he was going to go for that summer move as a free agent. Manchester City had other ideas though, and all of a sudden a deal for an initial £20 million is in place. The story came to light in Oliver Glasner's news conference today, and the head coach also confirmed he'll be leaving Palace when the season ends.
My latest understanding that a deal with Marc is in the final stages. I can't confirm a club because it's still not done, but in the final stages, and the result is that Marc doesn't play tomorrow for us. Every player, and depending on his contract situation, there is a price where a club says we want to do it, and when the player says I want to move on, a deal will happen, and it looks like that this happened now. Everybody wanted Marc to stay forever, Crystal Palace captain and playing here, but reality is different.
What impact, if any, will Marc being allowed to leave in this window have on what you decide to do at the end of the season with your contract?
Has zero impact because my decision has already been taken months ago. I had a meeting with Steve in October, international break. We had dinner, very long talk, and I told him that I will not sign a new contract for Crystal Palace. We agreed at that time that it's the best to keep it between us, and I think this is how confidential we work together, that we could keep it between us for 3 months in the football times where we are in. I told the team today the same, because I think it's important to have clarity. It's nothing to do with the transfer window, and it's nothing. So all these rumors, and I hate if something is written or told that's not true, and it was really tough for me not to respond. And so it's nothing to do. We have a great relationship, and we're really always talking what's the best for Crystal Palace. And the reason is just for me, I'm looking for a new challenge. I haven't spoken to any other club, to any other, no interest. And I told the players, and I promised them today, that I will give my best to play the best ever season in Crystal Palace history.
I mean, what a hard day for any Crystal Palace fans out there. I mean, firstly, you're hearing about the manager, but Marc Guehi, this looks like it's a real go. It's all kind of come to light today. Carve, what can you tell us? What's the latest?
Well, the latest is that the deal is almost done. We're being told that it's in the final stages of being completed. Basically, Manchester City were the club who wanted him the most. Lots of other clubs were interested in taking him, but only on a free transfer in the summer. Clubs like Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Arsenal as well. But Manchester City obviously have these injury problems at centre-back. And they decided, look, we don't want to wait until the summer. We don't want to get in a bidding war in the summer for a player who is going to have his pick of some of the biggest clubs in the world, and they moved quickly to get him now. And I think this has been an incredible transfer window for Manchester City, because they've bought 2 exceptional players, both of whom have bags of Premier League experience.
So they're 2 of the best available players that they could have bought, and they've gone out and got them.
Incredible. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? You're looking at a guy who's 25, coming into the peak years. They desperately need a centre-half now, and you look at someone like Semenyo and you say, that's a nice addition. This was critical. This felt like this needed to happen now, so it's a brilliant addition. Yeah,
Carve, I just want to ask, just on Marc Guehi, do you think in the long term, do you think this is what Palace wanted? Do you think a January transfer for Marc was something that, if you had said to them, would you prefer him to carry on for 6 months and then leave for free at the end, or get some form of fee for him? What would they want?
I think Palace fans will be split. Some of them will understand why Palace need to take the money now. Some of them will think, look, if we'd held on to him, we'd have a better chance of winning the Conference League, getting into the Europa League next season. Being in Europe again is going to be worth much more than £20 million. But the Palace executive chairman, Steve Parish, has been as good as his word. He said in the summer, a club the size of Palace cannot afford to lose a player like Marc Guehi on a free transfer. Those were his words in the summer. So it was always likely that if somebody came along with a big enough offer, then Palace were going to accept it.